Good morning. Hello, hello. I am here live on Instagram and I want to invite you into my morning spiritual practice this morning. And I'm going to start something I do every Sunday. Those of you who've been following me for a while, you know that I read oracle cards. This is a deck, Healing Angels. And it's a deck I gave to my aunt a few years ago. And then she returned it to me. She said, I haven't used it. And it was really special when she returned it to me because it was a time that I was working on healing. And so it was really meaningful for me. Hey, Mary, good to see that you've joined. So I'm just going to pull my weekly card for... that's what I do every Sunday. I pull a card and I get really excited. What's this week? What's the message for the week? And I figured I'd bring you all into this practice so that you can also be a part of whatever message comes through for your week. Yeah, Mary, love oracle cards. Yay. Okay, so take this reading for you as well. All right, so when I work with a deck, I just tap it 3 times. And I just hold my intention. This is an angel deck, so praying to the angels. Particularly, I like to bring my mom into this because my mom is one of my angels, and I know she wants to help me heal. So, ask my angels and my mom to come forward and only loving energy to surround me right now while I'm doing this reading. And just only love, only love. That's just a phrase that I just say a lot, only love. And, please guide me for this week. What is the wisdom that will support me? And then I shuffled a deck. And I've pulled cards many different ways, but currently the way that I pull cards is I just let something fall out of the deck. So sometimes it happens quick, sometimes it takes a while. Let's see what card we have for this week. Happy Sunday. Only love. Just say that with me. Only love. Only love. What will guide only love this week? Wisdom. Do we need to know? For anybody who will be a part of this Instagram Live, what is the wisdom? Just taking some deep breaths and being present. Sometimes when it takes a while to pull a card, something just fell. Sometimes when it takes a while to pull a card, I think, I'm probably still up in my head and not really present yet. And so that's okay. I just let it take a while. Oh, okay. So the card that came through is healing. Healing. It's a week of healing. This card, I have pulled it a few times. And I think the first time I pulled it, I was with my best friend, Michelle. And it just reminds me of that gentle, loving female presence of love and support that, we can have with each other. And it's not that only women can be loving and supportive, but women are known, feminine energy is known for that nurturing and compassion and support. And that's just what this card feels like to me. It's healing that is gentle and sweet. And so, I'm going to take that into my week and invite you to do the same. Let's just take a moment and just what does that healing mean to you? Gentle and sweet and kind and compassionate healing. I have been exploring workaholism this week. Some of you may identify with that, or even the idea of perfectionism you may identify with, or the idea of intensive productivity, feeling that you're valuable if you are producing things in the world. And that's a hard place to live. I'm learning really, really, really. I've been talking about this for a long time. But when it comes to healing, as we're talking about, healing happens in a spiral, up, down, not in a straight linear line. And what that means is, while we may have healed an issue, it doesn't mean it's over. And we can't get mad at ourselves there's that workaholism again, or there's that, need to please other people again, or whatever you might face. it comes up at deeper levels over our lives. So 10 years ago was when I diagnosed myself as a workaholic and realized how much productivity was super important to my life. And here, 10 years later, I am exploring at a deep level while I'm home, working from home, and really have the option to make choices that I don't typically get to make because of this time. I could jump into productivity, but I could also honor this as, wow, this is a time of healing. It's really been the message I've been getting. So I'm going to talk a little more about that. Since it's a message I've had, I can share a little more about what I've been doing to help inspire you as you move through this week, because you're part of this Instagram Live. Healing is a message for you. Mary, time of healing. Yes, totally. So one of the things I brought to the Instagram Live, I brought props today to be with you. And one of the things I brought is this book, which I love, Seed of the Soul by Gary Zukav. If you followed me for a while, you've probably heard me talk about him. And Gary Zukav, I got the original copy of this book. This is the 25-year anniversary edition that came out this year. Fun fact on healing, I donated my old copy because I had been given that copy, or maybe I just sort of took it. It was from an old boyfriend. And that was a relationship that felt to me like it had some challenges and toxicity in that relationship. And so rather than keeping that book, because I had read this book so often, I said, you know what, I'm going to get rid of that copy. Why? Let's gift it on to someone else. There might be some energy in that book because that relationship wasn't such a great relationship. And so I've been loving having a new fresh copy, and I'm marking it up and having all kinds of fun with it. Hi, John. I see that you came on. Good to see you. Anyway, our theme right now is healing. Since you're anybody else just joining us, our theme is healing, and I was talking about the book Seed of the Soul, and our oracle card for the week, which is healing. I pull a card every Sunday, and so if you're watching today, you're included in this. And so this is one of the books that I use for healing. Gary Zukav has been teaching spirituality for probably 30 years, maybe more. And he's just a really inspiring guy. And for those of you who may be a little more rational-minded, he has a good way of explaining things that don't sound so woo-woo. I mean, it's the woo-woo information, the spiritual information, but he just really is very good at being direct and clear around the information. So, love Gary Zukav, and I'm just going to read something that's been really resonating with me around healing right now to inspire you in your healing. And so this is a chapter called Intention. Intention is a topic I teach clients about often in the early stages of our work because it really gets to the way that we shape our lives. What intention do we bring to something? Are we coming from a space of fear, scarcity, worry, doubt? Are we coming from a space of love, compassion, and wanting to contribute? It makes such a difference, and we can take the same action. We could be, I use the example often of helping an old lady across the street. You can do it, from a space of love and contribution, or you can do it from fear and scarcity, right? Like out of either obligation, like you have to, or like you want to literally steal money out of her purse, right? Like that would be the real dark side of it. But anything we do is shaped by our intention. And so here's one of the things. He has 2 chapters, and I'm just going to give you a snippet of what Gary says about intention to kick off our Healing Sunday. We are evolving into a species of whole individuals. Individuals who are aware of their nature as beings of light and who shape their light consciously, wisely, and with compassion. Therefore, the physical phenomenon of phase-coherent light that does not struggle with itself, so to speak, has come into being. It is a new phenomenon to the human experience, and it reflects the new energy dynamic of the whole human. The achievements of science, in other words, do not reflect the laboratory capabilities of individuals or nations, but the spiritual capabilities of our species. Intentions affect more than relationships. Intentions set into motion processes that affect every aspect of your life. If you desire to change your job, for example, that change begins with the intention to change. As the intention to leave your present job emerges into your consciousness, you begin to open yourself to the possibility of working somewhere else or doing something else. You begin to feel less and less at home in what you are doing. Your higher self has begun the search for your next job. And I know those of you who are on here today have been through that process of wanting to create change, even in your career space, right? There's something that it just happens every single time with my clients. When a client comes up with an idea for a new business, that, okay, I want to go this direction, and it could be a new job, but usually with my clients, it's a new business. I always say, okay, well, here's how we start. I know you feel scared. I know you don't feel confident yet. What you have to do is test your idea. You have to go out into the world and share it and test it. My hair a little crazy. It's scary when you see yourself on the camera for a minute. Who cares? We're all at home. It's all good. But here's every time, okay, we have to test your idea. This is how you build your confidence. You're not going to build your confidence just sitting in your head thinking about it. Whatever this idea is, test it. And I always say, just set an intention. It's as simple as setting an intention for someone to show up that you can test your idea with. And it happens every single time. Every single time. The client doesn't have to go scavenge in the world to try to figure out how to test their idea. They just hold the intention, and somebody shows up in order to support that intention being moved forward. So one of the things that I'm doing, it's another one of my props. Where did it go? I might have dropped it. Oh, here it is. So one of the things that I've done for myself in this time of being at home more often, and having reflective healing time. Again, if you're just joining, we pulled the healing card for this week. This is the Oracle card guidance for all of us who are here together. During this time last week, as I was focusing on healing already and using this time as a heightened way for myself, I decided to set an intention from the wisdom of Gary Zukav and his book, Seed of the Soul. I was like, okay, I don't know how long this is going to be, but I'm going to do some more healing. I'm going to do some self-work. I'm not going to just jump into workaholism. I know what I'm not going to do. So what is the intention I want to set for myself? And so I sat and I thought of this idea that Gary speaks, that I just shared with you, that we are beings of light. Essentially, we are energy beings. We have the ability, whatever is coming in through us, we have the ability to shape it by our thoughts, by our words, by our actions. We shape what is going to come through us. Just as I gave that example of, I create an intention to test my business idea. You set that intention, what happens? The universe responds. People show up. The resources you need come to you. So I set an intention for this time of being home. And, Sylvester, it is so good to see you. You're just one of my angels in this world. Thank you for being here. Thank you for waving at me right now. Thank you for the messages you've been sending me. Oh my goodness. Just love you. I mean, everybody who's on here, you're great. It's great to see all of you. Sylvester, I just know God is blessing me and shining on me when you show up. So thank you for being here. Okay, so back to what I was saying, an intention I set during this time, influenced by Gary Zukav's work and saying how we shape the light that moves through us. The intention I set, I wrote it down on an index card and I highlighted it in pink, and it's sitting on my desk where I can see it, like as soon as I sit down. And it says, I am a whole personality focused into a single clear beam of light. And that may sound a little jargony to you, so I'll share what it means. one of the things Gary Zukav teaches before he gets to this idea of intention is he talks about what can be a splintered personality, right? We all have personalities. It's part of how our soul carries out our mission in life is through a personality. I'm very, I work a lot. I'm very dedicated to my work. I'm very extroverted and bubbly and, want to help people. And, that's all personality, and all of that is how I was shaped to be in this world and how I do contribute to the world. But one of the things Gary talks about is our personalities can be splintered, meaning, yes, you honor all that love and goodness, but also you have some darkness going on, which, by the way, we all have darkness. All of us have. I literally was talking to somebody the other day, and I was just, thinking of how we can all get so angry. And we all literally have murderous rage inside of us. Like, literally, we're all capable at that level. Now, some of us may be more implosive and we don't feel it outward at others, but we all have dark sides to us. And so the splintered personality is someone who is at a place of conflict in their life. Like, yes, I have all this love and goodness and compassion, but I carry some self-hatred. I don't trust in myself. As much as I say I want to be in relationship, I know I keep people at a distance and push them away. That's a splintered personality. And that can happen to any of us, given hardships we've faced in our lives, given disappointments we've had. And I am in this time of healing, in this time of COVID-19 and being in a quarantine, I have been really looking within myself. And as I was reading this book for probably the 30th time, as I read it, I said, oh, wow, that's going on in some areas of my life where I know I'm strong and showing up and love, but there's also this darkness and this fear that I'm not acknowledging. And here is what spirituality has taught me for sure. We all have shadows and dark sides, and I've lived a lot of my life repressing it, pretending it's not there. And that's not real. If we do that, what we're actually doing is we're repressing a part of ourselves, and it will show up in ways that are unexpected, in the sense of, you have a blowout with someone, or you are working on a project and you blow it up yourself. You self-sabotage, something like that. Because we're repressing those dark feelings, the dark side of ourselves. And I know, based on my personality, I've done a lot of that because I bury my feelings into my work. If I'm going through grief or a hard time personally, I just work more. Language is super important. That has been my pattern. I have worked more. When I'm in a healing process, I always am really mindful of how I say things. If I say something like I just said, I work more. That's what I do. I'm continuing the pattern through my language, right? Remember, we're shaping the light that we bring into the world. And so if I say it that way, I'm continuing to shape my light, but I catch it. That's a practice of mine. And I say, oh, that's how I have done it. When I was in grief or stress, I have worked a lot. Now, I feel my feelings. I had a moment yesterday where I was really sad and upset about something, and I was in the presence of another person who was kind of freaked out, and that triggered some feelings in me. And I wanted to stay steady in that moment for that other person. I knew that was right. I was very present. I knew that was right. I needed to be the strong one in that situation. And so I told myself, as these difficult feelings emerged in me, I said, I will give you space, just not right now. Right now, I just need you to go to the side, and I will give you space later. And that's healing. That's healing. In the past, I would have just repressed it altogether and never given it space. So getting back to the intention I set, I am a whole personality focused into a single clear beam of light. And so the whole personality is about me removing that splinteredness. And then a single clear beam of light. One of the things Gary talks about in intention is becoming like a laser and focused. And so during this time of self-reflection, self-healing, healing is here for all of us. That is my intention. My intention is to become clear like a laser, and I can't predict when that will happen, but I just keep following the breadcrumbs that the universe sends me, the response that the universe sends me by creating that intention. One of the things I know it's sending me is books to read. I'm in the midst of reading a lot right now. Books that I have. I've gotten some new recommendations that have been game changers, given me insights that were huge, and also conversations with people. So as you, I'm sharing all this with you to take into your own world. And oh, Nick, hey Nick, good to see you in here. Oh, it's just so good to hear from people. Um, so, I was saying how it works. You set the intention, and then, this is what I'm inviting you all into. Set an intention for yourself. How are you going to use this time, the next month that we're home? What do you want to create for yourself? And it's not about so much outcomes. It's about that state of being, right? So for me, whole personality focused into a single clear beam of light. That's really what is the state I want to be in. I don't know what I'm going to create. I have some ideas of things I want to do or would be interesting, but instead of jumping into action, which that workaholic in me would do, I'm really breathing and being present and saying, okay, if I can get my personality in alignment and really then act from there, be that single focused beam of light, then I know I will be doing what truly is in the highest good for everybody I'd be serving and for myself and my family. So okay, so two other things I wanted to do while I joined you. Unless there's any special requests, you can pop in requests in the notes. I am checking them. One of the other things that I'm using right now, essential oils for healing. So I work with a healer who's helped me with some health issues physically. I see her about once a month, and I saw her last week. And we did some really deep kind of work together. I won't get into the details, but she gave me this oil, a little sampler. It's called Rooted, and it's for feeling grounded. It smells amazing. And so when I've been meditating, I've been just sniffing it. I just hold it up to my nose and breathe it in. And Rooted in particular is about feeling connected to the earth, which right now, being grounded and rooted, if you are familiar at all with the chakra system, that's the first chakra that touches the earth when you sit. It can be so helpful right now because we can get so in our heads with fear. And I had a moment yesterday. I've been doing really well, but I, just found some information on the internet, and it just was like, whoa, freaking me out. I'm scared for myself, for my loved ones. But if we stay rooted, we know what is present and what is happening right now. And so essential oils, I know we're not getting out much, but if you shop it all at Whole Foods, I can tell you there is a section in every Whole Foods that has essential oils, and you can just kind of trust your instincts about any oils. You can use oils, just wafting they call it, when you just sniff it like this. I mean, this will last me forever. It's just a couple drops that my healer gave me. I also have a diffuser. You can get those at Whole Foods, where you just put a couple drops in water and then it diffuses in the air. I've been diffusing balance oil, which has been fantastic. It's very calming, very calming. So another tip, something that you can bring into your healing practice this week. Oh, and then there's always coffee, my morning coffee. This is a mug from my friend Jane's wedding, which was 2019. I was going to say it was this year, but it was 2019. And love, after all, was the mantra of their wedding, and hashtag. And anyway, so cheers, Jane and Kurt. Coffee is good for grounding. Very good for grounding. As a grounding practice, you can simply close your eyes and imagine roots coming from your feet, like energetic roots, and going into the earth. If you sit in a chair, and just imagine those roots bringing you nourishing energy, closing your eyes, and you also are giving away any of that fear energy into the earth for the earth to transmute it. It can be a really healing practice for you. So give it a try if you are feeling way too up here. So the final piece I want to bring to this Instagram Live, thanks for having my Sunday morning practice with me, The final piece I wanted to bring was prayer. My clients and friends all love when I pray with them. I have some prayers on Insight Timer, the app, if you're familiar. I definitely know I'm going to create and download a bunch more in the probably coming week, because I've been writing down the meditations and prayers that I think are really helpful right now for people. I've been using some guided by others, but then I realized those resources may not be available to my people, so I can recreate some of those important resources for you. So, any prayer requests, anybody who's on here, feel free to type in a specific prayer request. Otherwise, I'm going to do a general prayer for our healing. Our healing. Again, what this card for me really means is like that gentle, nourishing, supportive healing. It's not about pushing yourself, it's about allowing. It's about being really present. This is such a great time to be present and notice what is showing up, and following that flow instead of that grind of life that we've all been in. I just think of how much I've missed and didn't see. And so being present, we can focus on our healing. So, all right, let's pray. I'm going to close my eyes and clasp my hands. Whatever you bring to praying, you can feel like you're receiving this prayer that I'm giving. So you might have your hands up, just to receive the prayer, put them in your lap or whatever feels good. You might place a hand on your heart. In fact, actually, I think that's what I'm going to do. My hand's going right here on my heart. Taking a deep breath. Feeling rooted and grounded in the space. Remembering any intentions of love that are in our hearts. I offer this prayer for myself, for all people who are watching this Instagram live now, will watch it later, for all beings really on the planet that want to receive prayer, that are open to prayer and love. I send this out. What I know is true is that this planet is supported by the energy of love, a source energy that created us all, that is love and peace and harmony and wholeness and truth and wisdom, genius and compassion. And this energy that created us, our source, made us in its exact nature. So I know that for me and for everyone watching, we are love and harmony and peace and truth and wisdom and wholeness and genius and compassion. And with this knowing, I speak a blessing upon all of us as we go forward into this week. This is a week of healing. Divine light moves into us daily. And we hold this divine light in our hearts and our souls. And as we bring it into ourselves, we keep it pure. We let it hold us into the high vibration that is our highest possibility. This light moves through us and supports us and our healing, and we allow it to give us its nourishment, to give us compassion for ourselves and others. We allow this light to bring and tap our highest potential, which doesn't have to mean performance. We know this. Our highest potential right now is love for ourselves, for the people we are living with, for the planet, for our loved ones, for those we are leading. As this light comes into us and heals us and brings us our highest potential vibration, we honor this light. We give gratitude for this light. We remember that we have choice. We can turn off the news. We can stay steady in the presence of fear. We can take a moment to cry and allow our feelings to move through us as energy needs to move. And then we can come back to our center. We can come back to our prayer, our meditation, whatever steadies us. We know that this is a time where the strengthening we've been doing will keep us strong. And we know that this is a time that there is more strengthening in whatever we feel called, whatever guidance we receive to take in action right now, that is all here to serve us, to help us serve others, and that our path is perfect. We release judgment right here and right now in this moment, that however we feel called to show up, we do not judge it. We honor our path. Our path may be quieter than others. It may be louder than others. Whatever that is, we honor it. We know that God is moving through us as us. We know that in our home, by ourselves, in our own prayer, in our own silence, in our own holding of a high vibration of love, we can be healing others. It does not take high performance. It only takes love. That is our remembrance as we move forward from today's prayer, that love is all that is needed. Love is all that is needed. Love is all that is needed. I release my word into the action of the law with such great gratitude, knowing that this prayer is already realized. And so it is. Amen. That was today's prayer. I just want to send so much love to you all. If you are joining this Instagram Live later, please feel free to send me a DM. And if you have any special prayers that you'd like me to hold for you, or anything that you really want to share that you took away from this session on your own healing. So recap, we have the healing card for you to take into the whole week. This is your wisdom. Anybody who's been touched by this Instagram Live, healing is your message. Gentle, compassionate, loving healing. You can use prayer, you can use meditation, you can use healing oils, you can drink coffee to stay grounded. And really, as we completed with that prayer, love is all that is needed. Sending you so much love and support, and I believe in you. And go out there and love. Take care.